أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. صدق الله العظيم. My dear respected brothers and sisters, as you know, the Jummah khutbah is one of the ways that we as a Muslim community communicate with each other on issues that affect us and are of concern to us. Today's topic is one which very much falls in this area. It is about something that affects us all, whether directly or indirectly, and it is a big danger to our society. Today's topic is about Islamophobia and how we should and can respond to it. This month is Islamophobia Awareness Month. It is a significantly important month in which we can further highlight the dangers of Islamophobia and promote good responses to it. It is very important because Islamophobia is real and it affects lives on a daily basis. We come to Jummah and listen to the khutbah so that we can learn and change our practice. Therefore, this khutbah is about you. It's about the responsibility you have and about your role in doing something about this growing disease in our society. We consider Islamophobia a growing disease because, like any disease, if left untreated, it can further spread and cause irreversible damage. What is Islamophobia? Basically, Islamophobia is a manifestation of racism and xenophobia. It falls in the same category as all types of discrimination against people who are different. It comes from the same source. It starts out as fear. Fear leads to hatred. Hatred manifests as abuse, which includes violence. Islamophobia is when people give Muslims a real hard time because they are Muslim. Whether this is done by ridiculing them, inciting people against them, bullying them, or even attacking them. Just because that person identifies herself or himself as a Muslim. And it is on the rise. And it's getting worse. I say herself before himself, because Muslim women are targeted more, especially because of their clothing, which makes them more identifiable as Muslims. I'm not going to give you examples of Islamophobia or tell some of the horrific stories, reported. Because time is short, you can access these stories widely by reading the news or searching the internet. Why do we need to act? The Prophet ﷺ said, the believers in their mutual mercy, love and compassion are like a single body. If one part of it feels pain, the rest of the body will join it in staying awake and suffering fever. We cannot sit back because it isn't happening to us personally. We cannot ignore the problem because our children, parents, and relatives are not victims. Muslims are compassionate for everyone and should be sympathetic to human sufferings. Islamophobia is one of those sufferings. Why should you be concerned? Because Islam was revealed to bring about benefit for society and to remove harm. Because the message of Islam is about engagement in society to partake in solving the problem. Because you cannot wait for others to solve your problem for you. Do not be passive, as that will lead to bigger problems. The Prophet ﷺ said this about the importance of change. Whoever among you sees an evil, let him change it with his hand by taking action. If he cannot, then with his tongue by speaking out. If he cannot, then with his heart. And that is the weakest of faith. Britain is not racist, but people can be. Coexistence is to really care for the land we belong to. As Muslims in Britain, we are here to stay. Some thought that voting for Brexit meant Muslims would be asked to leave. No one explained to them that those who are British will not be asked to leave. We believe that Britain as a country isn't racist, Islamophobic or xenophobic. However, people can act that way. What is important to understand is that people come and go. Societies change and develop. That is the message of Surah Al-Kahf, which you read every Friday. Those young men slept for 309 years, only to wake up to a completely different, tolerant society. If we want society to change and develop, we have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves and those around us. A cup of tea and a short chat can do wonders for community relations, as demonstrated by different mosques. So let us not lose hope in people. So whatever you do, you have to do something. Doing nothing is not an option. And what you do is based on your ability, things which you really can do. No one is going to ask you to do the impossible. But what you will be told is to work together to make sure that the threat of Islamophobia doesn't reach an unacceptable state. If you all don't do something to change the status quo, if Islamophobia doesn't reach an acceptable state, if you all don't do something to change the status quo, if you don't get out there and create our own narrative as per the book of Allah, then those who hate us will create that narrative for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created every one of us and has given each of us strength and abilities. On the day of resurrection, He subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you about how you use your abilities to help others. He subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you about how you utilize your strength to empower the weak and helpless, even if it is as little as speaking out, when you have the ability to do so. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Let none of you despise themselves." They asked, the companions radiallahu anhu asked, "How would one of us despise themselves, O Messenger of Allah?" He replied, "You see a situation which requires you to speak out, yet you are silent. On the day of judgment, Allah will ask you, What prevented you from saying such and such when you had a chance? The person will say, I feared other people. Allah will say, rather, it is me you should have feared. We need all Muslims to be awake to the issues that are happening around them and to come together to help with supporting the Muslim community and British society. There are many things that one can do to fulfill the obligation when it comes to a problem like Islamophobia. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه وأتوبوا إليه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. What are the things we should do or we can do to tackle this problem of Islamophobia or this disease? Not only Muslims, even Jews and other faith groups, they all suffered this hatred. Similarly, we Muslims, we are suffering this also. So what are the solutions for us? What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us? And Islamophobia is not a new thing. It was always there from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam time and now and even in future. However, we have to do something and we need to create awareness for this. Many times we suffer in disguise and we don't even speak out. So what do? First, number one, we need to educate ourselves and other Muslims about the reality of hate crime in general and about Islamophobia in particular. It is important to realize that a problem exists and to understand more about what is happening and how frequent it is going on. Number two, encourage people to report every crime to the police. Islamophobic incident must be reported to the police. The police have recognized this category of hate crime and have a duty to report it as such. Why is that important? Because there are still people who still try to deny such a disease or such a problem exists. By reporting the incidents, we can have the facts as quantifiable statistics which can be traced back to certain events, political segments, policy decisions, and other factors. This will allow different institutions and organizations to better address the problem. Number three, initiate public awareness to help non-Muslims understand the impact of Islamophobia and hate crime on individuals and on communities. It is important to allow others to understand that Islamophobia is a problem for every society, not just Muslims. Racism which exists in any society is a smear on that society, especially when nothing is done about it. Everyone needs to understand the importance of having a cohesive society. This can't happen when discrimination is rife. This means we must, as Muslims, not only portray our deen correctly and positively, but reach out to non-Muslims by organizing informal meetings with friends and family, and then more formal open days and events. And you need to speak, engage, educate. Number four, challenge hate speech and rhetoric when you notice it. I read to you the hadith of not belittling oneself by being silent. It is important that we will not be silent and remain ignored. This means we must comment and challenge hate speech. On the other side, we must also thank and show gratitude to good practice within the media as appropriate. This will be important in encouraging responsible reporting and journalism. Number five, engage with public life. Muslims need to be more politically active. vote in elections and participate in supporting parties and contacting their MPs. On the grassroots level, it is also important to show solidarity to different causes by participating in protests. This can only happen if the constituents you get involved and account those who speak on your behalf. This means we must engage politicians, whether councillors or MPs, on taking a robust stand against Islamophobia. Number 6, participate in society. The attitude of belonging needs to be nurtured into our young and upcoming generations. There needs to be a sense of caring and sharing. It's not about sharing football team to support or what your favorite food is, but it's about the attitude of belonging. We must not allow the rhetoric of Muslims are alien to Britain or they belong elsewhere. This can only happen when there is a clear rebuttal of the alien culture. We still hear from ill-informed people that Muslims shouldn't be here or they should go home. However, they are ignorant of the existence of Muslims as part and parcel of British society. More arms need to be stretched out to others in dialogue and collaboration. Dialogue breeds understanding and partnership instills care. Through interfaith work and collaborating with those with shared interests, huge barriers would be broken. There are different aspects of life in which we can work together. These are restricted to matters of religion, but extend to a wide spectrum of issues, from human rights to caring about the environment, and from pro-life campaigns to lobbying for living wage. Whatever the issue, it's good to work together. Number 7, be strong. Do not be afraid of practicing and displaying your religion. Do not be afraid of wearing the hijab or growing your beard. Our religion was sent as a mercy to mankind. We should not be afraid of practicing Islam, even when we have become victims of an increasing hatred. Having said that, do not put yourself in an unnecessary danger. It is important to assess each and every situation. Being cautious and vigilant goes hand in hand with being strong. Number 8, share your thoughts about this topic on social media websites. This one might be more for young people. Islamophobia Awareness Month should not be sidelined as just another month. It is important that our voices are heard. If not in the realm of the media, then at least on social media websites, Facebook, Twitter, and even Snapchat. Share your experiences and thoughts about how Islamophobia has affected you and in what peaceful ways we can respond. Create your own hashtags and try to make them a trend by sharing it with all your family and friends online. Explore existing online campaigns and join them to support in disseminating your dissatisfaction about Islamophobia. Too often we complain about the negative media portrayal, and it's our right to complain. However, to avoid becoming someone who just moans about everything, you must couple your complaints with action. With the explosion of social media and ultra-fast broadband, everyone should and can have a say. You can air your views and you can speak about issues. Social media has given you a voice, so use it. And in a world of high-volume marketing, we need to learn to market our activities and to portray ourselves more positively. To conclude, Islamophobia is a growing disease and we need to do what we can to counteract the problem. I have outlined many avenues in which each one of you can help to do something. May Allah give us the strength to do this. O you believe, if we help aid the deen of Allah, Allah will aid you and make you stand firm. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. نستغفرك اللهم من الذنوب والخطايا ونتوب إليك. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأقيموا الصلاة.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the respect for him and our Imam has arranged the khutbah, inshallah. My brothers and my sisters, if I can ask you to please start standing up and straightening your line up, inshallah, for the salah. While you do so, we have our brothers and sisters coming around collecting donations. My brothers and my sisters, as you know, without your continued support, love and assistance, we cannot continue the day-to-day maintenance of the masjid. So please, as my brothers and sisters come around collecting donations, donate generously. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your families for eternity. A couple of announcements, brothers and sisters, please. As it relates to protect yourselves and protect each other, we always kindly encourage you and request you to continue to wear your mask, cover your nose and mouth while you're inside the masjid. The entirety of the time you're inside the masjid, please do cover your nose and mouth with your mask. Jazakumullah khair. And also please do remember that we have to adhere to all of the rules that are requested of us inside the masjid for our own safety and protection. Brothers and sisters, you will be aware of our young Hafiz who has passed away. He was a young Hafiz who led us here last year. His funeral is taking place today in East London Masjid, inshallah. It will be taking place momentarily. His family have asked us all to please remember him in our du'as. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannatul Firdaus and save him from all of the hardships of the hereafter. And we also make a dua for our beloved uncle, who is the brother of our Auntie Tahira, who has passed away. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Through illness in Mauritius. Auntie Tahira is there with us, and she's asked us to please make dua for him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him the best of the best in Jannah. And we also pray for our brother Kashif, who has just passed away. He, through an accident at work, we make dua for him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannah and save him from all of the hardships of the hereafter as well. All in all, brothers and sisters, whenever we make dua for ourselves, we remember our entire community and we remember the entire ummah. Jazakumullah khair. Give me salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah, hayya ala falah. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Slow water, straight line, please. Please don't leave any left. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون. فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
I have a young brother, he's 18 years old, his name is Rafiq. He has been diagnosed with cancer today. The family lost a good treatment, which is lost for him. May God rule about me, especially our younger ones. Brothers and sisters leaving the masjid, please be quickly and quietly. Please be aware that there are some of our brothers and sisters still performing the sunnah prayers. Please be aware of them. Please be quickly and quietly, inshallah. The second prayer will commence at 1 o'clock, inshallah. And the second prayer will be led by our very inspirational Imam Sultan Ahmed. So those of you coming into the masjid, please come in and settle down, inshallah. We'll begin momentarily instructing the prayer. Brothers and sisters, leaving, please be quickly and quietly, inshallah. And so that our brothers and sisters wanting to come to the school, they can do so. If anyone didn't get a chance to join the masjid before the prayer, please kindly do so on the way out. Please, brothers and sisters, always remember us in your pious du'as. Jazakumullah.